Welcome, guys. This is the High School E League. I believe it is week 4 or week 5, Tico.
Yeah, it is a good week in that we have two teams, Nazareth Catholic College, or as they prefer to call themselves, Nazareth Knights, versus Adelaide High School T1 on the red side.
Yep, and both these teams look to be like around the platinum gold elo, and I do believe I saw someone from Diamond 5 in this game as well. So this is a very high tier match compared to the others we've had, and we are ready to rumble with this.
Yep, and so this, as if people are just tuning in, don't know what we're casting, this is the High School E-League. This is a tournament where high school students can play in a team from their school, play against other teams in their state. And as we get further, and this is happening all over Australia, so it's not something small. This is a highly regarded tournament.
Indeed, and obviously, we're your hosts. My name is Jackson Prolt Williams, and joined today by Benjamin Tico Lee. And guys, it's as always an absolute pleasure to be here. And yes, we do have the diamond person in this game right now.
As Durmeister so humbly tells us, he is a diamond player. But we just want to also say the Adelaide Crows, I believe, they are the ones that helped set up HSEL. They are the main people behind what this tournament is about, and we just want to thank them so much for setting this up. Thank them for bringing the opportunity to all these students to be able to play in a tournament like this.
Indeed, and it's taken a lot of effort and a lot of coordination to get all these schools on board, and basically to bring us something that is not traditionally sports, but known as esports instead, and bring it into the front and center. Get this growing field of spectator sport and this growing field of sport and enjoyment that people love of the new generation. And it's really good how they're actually able to. It's so instead of going out and playing rugby, which some people don't like to do, some people can play video games that they like, which takes just as much mental effort as some of these physical sports do physically.
If not more. I mean, esports, League of Legends isn't just a game anymore. It's become huge. We have tournaments all around the world. They're so much bigger than what they used to be 5-10 years ago when you had those little CSGO comps happening in those video game little online cafe places.
Yeah, we wouldn't know anything about those gaming cafe places, would we, Tico?
No, we wouldn't, but yeah, just to let you guys know, you might have a little bit of screaming in the back of our casting. Don't mind those, it's just ragers in the background in this gaming cafe.
Indeed, and now we are getting into the picks and bans. So immediately right off the bat, we see the Vladimir ban. Now Vladimir, even after the nerfs that have come in this patch, has still been on a rampage in both top, mid, and in the bottom lane role. So he's been able to be flexed in so many positions, which has made him so powerful as of late.
Yeah, but let's not just focus on the Vlad. We do have Lissandra, which I haven't seen much of, but she's been banned out. We have the Graves, a very powerful pick there. We have Kled in the top lane taken away, Irelia, and Morgana.
So the main things to note there is the Lissandra, the Vlad, and the Aurelia can all be flexed to in between 2 and possibly 3 positions, with mainly top, mid, and possibly even the ADC or jungle role. So it's very good how they've actually been able to like take those things off the table. So a lot of these flex picks, which are hard to counter, are being accounted for. And immediately we see the Kaisa picked up.
Yeah, a really powerful pick in this current meta. But let's not drag the attention away from the Elise first pick lock-in.
Oh, that Elise first pick lock-in. Now, Elise is something that we haven't really seen a lot of for a long time due to a subpar late game and pretty lackluster clear in the early after the jungle changes came in. Especially because Raptors became very important for a while, and Elise just had so much trouble trying to clear that, especially early game.
Yeah, but we do have the Trundle pickup in the jungle, I believe, because we don't have pick order. We have, I believe Caramel Cat is going to go Trundle in the jungle, but let's look at the Brand and the Swain Hover as well.
So Brand is one of those powerful picks. We've seen him play bot. We've seen him play support. We've even seen a couple Brands play mid lane, which seems to be the off-role of Brand nowadays, which is a bit weird to say. But of course, Swain, once again, one of those strong flex picks. Good late game, good power laning phase. Very decent pick overall with great sustain and great presence in a team fight. The Trundle, really good counter pick into tanks. And of course, we see the Cassiopeia being picked up for Mikoto.
That is going to be an interesting mid lane. If it's, I don't believe it's going to be Swain mid lane. Do you?
Well, honestly, Swain mid lane seems to be like the go-to pick for Swain, and for Cassio it's the same. But both of them in the past in professional play have been seen to be picked in the top lane. They've both got good range. They've both got good lane harass, and they've both got they've both got a decent amount of CC to make sure that they're safe. They just don't have a dash of any kind, so it can be an issue to get away from those ganks, especially if they have like a CC kind of jungler.
Exactly. But we've come into the bans now. We've gone through 3. Now, there's going to be the Rakan, huge playmaker, coming out a ban for Adelaide High School, as well as Lucian, another good meta champion.
And we also have the Cho'Gath being banned as well. So Cho'Gath, safe laner, can be a bit bullied, but if he stays even and gets to mid game, late game with those stacks, he just becomes an absolute monster. You have about 600 base damage on your ultimate at level 16, plus the scaling, so you can do true damage of more than 1,000 damage to anyone on the field. And against some AD carries, that's a one shot.
It is, but I'm just going to go over the last ban, Lulu ban. That's a very interesting one, taking a support pick away from High Iron Banter. But in the top lane, we have an Ornn into Shen.
Now, Shen-Ornn matchup, I do believe that Ornn wins that early, but of course the Shen has so much global pressure and wins the split push later. So it's a bit of a skill matchup there, but it's all a question of can the Shen keep the Ornn split pushing, because the Ornn does have a better team fight and a better engage. But of course the Xayah and the Janna picked up as well. So it does appear that it's going to be a Janna support. Well, actually, let's go through the entire lineup, shall we? So we appear to have what appears to be a Shen into Ornn in the top lane. We have an Elise into the Trundle in the jungle. I believe it will be as Swain into Cassio mid. Then we have in the bottom lane on the side of Nazareth Christian College, we have the Xayah Brand as ADC and support, and we have the Kaisa Janna. So it does appear that we are getting back into this ADC kind of meta, especially after Banner of Command got removed, I believe 2 patches ago now.
Well, yeah, there have been some fixes to the meta, to the AD carries. They've gotten a little bit of an increase in stats, not as much as they had before. What was it, 8 they had at 8.11?
8.10, I believe, is like where everything was fine, or 8.11, yeah. And then everything just went pear-shaped in 8.11, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so it was not a good meta. It has not been a good meta for the past two patches. But it looks like we are getting the ADCs back. Xayah, I haven't seen in a while, and it's very unfortunate that Rakan was banned by Adelaide High School. It seems like they may have gone with a bit of psychic. They may have got a bit psychic there, banning the Rakan before they could pick it, showing no signs that they were actually going to pick it, but they'd still banned it. Rakan by himself is an amazing champion, an amazing playmaker, and into this team with Shen, Swain, Elise, Brand, Rakan is a huge playmaker. Well, instead of a Brand, it would be Rakan, wouldn't it? But still, he's a huge playmaker.
Indeed, and of course, with the Brand pickup as well, you have this insane team fight damage between the Brand, the Swain, and the Xayah, and as well as the strong split push from the Shen. So I do believe if you look at Nazareth Christian College, their entire strat focuses on like a kind of a pick comp with the Elise and Swain having really good pick potential, with the Shen split pushing, and controlling those side waves. So they have this consistent global pressure that they have that Adelaide High School Team 1 have to actually deal with. And if we look at the side of Adelaide High School, they've gone for your more traditional team fight based champs with the Orin in the top lane with really good engage, whether he's ahead or behind, and just a great solid tank. You have the Trundle one-on-one into Shen. He's going to steal all those stats. He's going to be able to just beat beat Shen's head in, for lack of a better word. And Cassio and Kaiser, amazing scaling carries. And Jana, once again, an amazing scaling support. That is going to do some absolute vicious damage. So I do believe in a straight up team fight, Adelaide High School is going to be insane. But if Nazareth Christian College can pull off their team comp, that is going to be so much global pressure and quite a bit of damage that can come out in a very small amount of time with the Swain and the Brand.
Yeah, but I'm just a bit curious as to why the Elise first pick. Now, as we mentioned before, Elise isn't a very meta champion. She might have some pressure in the early game, but it's not as much pressure as you can say from people like Sejuani, and she scales as well.
I do believe the reason why you would pick the Elise is due to this amazing pick and gank potential. You have a lot of mobility, even though your jungler isn't as great as something like a Sejuani, and it does seem a bit of a weird kind of pick in this meta. Elise still has quite the potential to really get going and snowball this early game, which is what Nazareth Christian College will want to do. They don't want to get to these late game 5v5 team fights because the Cassio Kaiser are just going to steamroll. And especially with this Orin, there's no one in their team who can put out as much CC as the Orin, because this Orin is just going to go ballistic in these team fights as the game goes on. And of course, we are getting into the loading screen now, guys. So we unfortunately do have that 3 or 4 minute spectator delay, so we can't actually view these games live. It is a process that Riot's implemented to avoid people going and just spectating out of the game, being able to like just screen cheat and everything like that. You know, the old days of like those shooter games when you were a kid. You remember those days?
Oh yeah, I remember those. Being able to help your friends out with the position of your enemy. That was pretty not fun, was it?
I quite enjoyed being screen cheated on. It was the most amazing thing. You can go from the old League of Legends games. I do believe the old spectator mode, you were pretty much a champion who summoned spells like you could see through fog of war, and you were invisible in base. But one of the issues was if you pick something like Zillion, then your entire team back then would get boosted experience. So I do believe they actually had to remake a professional game because frequent Zillion in the base and get his entire team that he was spectating bonus experience, had to remake that game. And then as other issues like with the Karthus, if the ult, it would still be able to kill you, so they'd be able to get gold for killing you. So all these old issues with this really old, like I'm talking about season 1 spectator mode. That was quite an interesting thing back then.
But we are now into season 9, 8, right? 8.
Yes, 8.
Okay. I brain fart for a second there. But we are now into season 8, and we are heading into the game of Nazareth. I gotta get that right. Nazareth Catholic College versus Adelaide High School T1. And I wanna shout out a bit to the carries of this game right now. So we have no one's a carry right now, so everyone's a carry. We have Lushy in the top lane playing with this Shen. We have Hardwired on Brand, Zera in the middle for Swain, Basic Beast Boy on Zaya, and Hardwire is support as Brand, and Dermeister is in the jungle with Elise.
Indeed, and of course, on the side of our Adelaide High School, we have Shanty Nom on the Orin, Carol Macat on Trundle in the jungle, Mikoto on Cassiopeia in the mid lane. We have Yukio on Kaisa in the ADC role, and then of course we have High I'm Banter on the Janner and support. So it does appear that we are running the teleport on the Kaisa, which has actually been quite a meta thing as of late.
Well, I mean, Fleet Footwork did have quite a bit of a nerf, so it wasn't taken as much, and instead, people would be taking what was that? Attack speed. Rune again. Lethal Tempo, the other one. Yeah, that one. Hail of Blades, that's the one. And instead of Fleet Footwork, they'll be taking Hail of Blades. Now that 80 carries are sort of coming back into meta, Fleet Footwork is sort of coming back as well. They didn't do much to bring it back in, but it's coming back, sort of.
Indeed, and of course with the Fleet of Footwork, and of course with the Fleet of Footwork, it does appear that they are not going to be able to get as much sustain. So of course the TP does help with being able to, if you do have that losing lane matchup, for example with the Kaisa and Zaya. Kaisa, I do believe, has an issue with this, has a small issue with the landing phase, but has amazing scaling. So the teleport's going to be able to help the Kai'Sa stay healthy and just be able to like keep up with that landing phase. But one thing I want to look at is these team comps. So the with the Shen and the into the Ornn. So one of the big issues that the Nazareth Christian College will actually have is if they fall behind, they do where they will not be able to have the Shen split pushing. They'll be forced into these 5v5 team fights, which against the Ornn is going to be very difficult. The Shen does not have as good an engage. They're going to have to rely on these picks to get to rotate then for an objective, or yeah, it does appear that the Shen will actually struggle a bit early as well.
Yeah, and one thing to note, guys. Never mind, I'm gonna go back to that. We have the Elise flashing in for the Cocoon. Does land it onto the Swain. Swain goes down. Dermeister has to repel. Verza is going to have to walk away from this one as well. And that's gonna be a 1-for-0 trade.
Of course, that wasn't the Swain going down, that was the Cassiopeia. And of course, the Cassiopeia did actually burn the Ignite as well. So, really good gank there by the Elise, and that was even the teleport from Yukio banned to try, used to try and do that. But of course,
Hardwire going in as well. A lot of sustain coming out, but Jenna, she's got Ignite on her. Brand's gonna be able to pick that one up. That's a support carry if I've ever seen one. Basic Beast Boy just standing in the back. Had to burn heal and flash for that one though.
and of course, guys, just a reminder, as you can see with the spectator mode, there is a bit of a bug in regards to enemy has been slain or like those notifications at the top. The text is not currently there, so unfortunately, that is not just you that is having eyesight issues. That is an actual Riot bug at the moment. So we do apologize for that, but it is out of our control. But of course, with our lovely voices, we will be telling you what is going on, so you don't need to worry too much about that.
Yeah, we'll do our best.
Attempt to like the Swain going down, I believe it, or what did you say?
I have no clue what you're talking about. But I mean, now I see Basic Beast Boy has picked up Xayah. He's picked up Fleet Footwork as well. One thing I have seen, not too often, but this is like a higher elo sort of build. Lethal tempo with a lot of armor penetration. So stuff like Yomu's, Dirk. But we're gonna go back into that. Dermeister trying to pick up something onto High Am Banter, sorry. Not gonna be able to do anything there.
Of course, and with the Elise, you do have a lot of that early game peak potential and damage, as we saw there. He got into the Janna, but of course, Janna didn't actually have to burn anything because she had nothing to burn. Was able to get out of there alive, though. But as you can see, Nazareth Christian College have actually had a really good start so far, which is what they want, because they want to get their team comp ahead so they can continue to make the proactive plays and then use the Shen just to pressure the other side of the map with that global pressure. So really good so far from Nazareth Christian College, and it does appear that they're just slowly getting these advantages.
Well, look at the gold lead that Nazareth has right now. Cocoon again landed onto Mikoto. A flash has been forced from him. He can't escape anymore. He grounds the Elise. She's going to have to repel from this one. Swain taking a couple turret shots, and boy, does she barely escape with that one.
And that was really close right there. They were able to burn the flash from the Cassiopeia, and they didn't actually have to burn anything on their end either. They didn't have these Ignite on the Swain up either, but of course the Trident's coming.
Oh, he good pillar knocking him back. In comes Stan United, however, is Zera. He's going to be able to live from this one. The taunt does miss as Caramel Cat forced to flash away from that one.
And right there, they once again can just, you have to burn the summon spells to get out alive, but of course that is a Stan United down from the Shen, but the Shen still has the teleport. So he's going to have to use that to get back to lane, and there immediately the side of Adelaide High School do have the global advantage with the teleport advantage on the Ornn. And this is not something that you see often against a Shen. Having a global pressure over a Shen, that's unheard of.
Well, it's not unheard of, it's just very, 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 very rare.
That too, but still, what can I say? So of course, the Shen does pick up the bombing sounder. That's going to be able to help him with that, with being able to push out that wave, and also give him a lot more health to deal with. So he's not going to be too far down against the Ornn. But of course, Ornn actually does burn the TP just to match and keep pressuring that top wave. So right there, top global pressure is then lost against Nazareth Christian College. So it's quite an interesting choice there from the Ornn just to use that when the wave was actually in a good spot for him just to walk back to lane.
Yeah, but we have Trundle in the spot side again. He does knock back the Brand Hardwire, going very low. He's not going to be... Actually, he will go down to that, but so does the Trundle. That is going to be a 1-for-1 trade so far. The repel coming in from Elise. She goes ham onto the Janna. She really wants blood here. That Tornado's not going to do anything as Swain roams down to help. He's going to be a bit late to the party, though. Not too late, though, as Elise goes ham onto Zaya as well. Nothing's going to come from that one.
And of course, right there, we see some chaos already. 7 minutes and 45 seconds in, and already we are 4-1 to the side of Nazareth Christian College. They are getting this this early advantage everywhere but the top lane. So they are having the stronger team fight already. But of course, there's a fight here.
Oh, and the mid lane is happening in the jungle. Swain, he's gonna get stunned, turned into stone for a little bit. Trundle's gonna be there to help him as well. Brando around the side. They're gonna have to force to back off there. TP's down from the top laner, so they can't help with that.
Indeed, and right there we do see the both ignites actually being burnt from the mid laners as well, and they have both used their ultimate. So it's a lot of fighting potential gone there. Of course, there have been a lot of junglers going mid lane. This has been a great choice of contention, and in the top lane we just had like the standard top lane meta.
Oh, Mikoto, he's going down very quickly. A couple more autos. No, he does turn it around, bringing it back for a 1-for-1 trade. That last auto bringing him back from the brink.
Indeed, and of course that is the Swain. That is the Swain burn the flash as well. But we do look to have the Elise try to make a play happen down bot side with the Zai almost back to lane as well. But of course, in this top lane, we still have this. There seems to be a lot of spectator happening in this top lane without a lot of action, to be honest.
Yeah, it's full of action. Look at those minions going down. Go on, you can farm this. I believe in you. But look at where we go. Hardwire, he's coming around from the side. Dermeister, the stun does miss. He's gonna get knocked up by that tornado. Really good ultimate coming out from Yukio as he dodges everything that Brand tries to dish out. Trundle is in this bot side now, telling them to back off. And now Ornn, he's gotten a bit of an advantage up top lane now.
Indeed, and he's going to be backing the fun off, guys. So of course, that was amazing by Yukio to dodge all those skill shots, dodge the stun from the Brand, dodge so many abilities there, dodge so much damage, and then of course the Trundle was there for the counter gank, so no one died. And even of all that, they did actually burn the flash from the Brand and the flash from the Elise. So that is so much gone from the side of Nazareth Christian College with not really a lot of gain.
Mid lane, a bit of a skirmish happening. Verza coming out on top there, but Mikoto, he's got a I'd say he's got a CS lead. He doesn't necessarily have a gold lead, but he's got a CS lead right now. Well, 2 CS now, isn't it? But right now he's behind in gold.
Like, what would you call it a CS lead, or would you call that a buffer?
Yeah, it's a 2 CS lead.
it's 2 CS.
One. It's 1 now. Go Swain. Kill. No. Okay. Yep. Never mind. He's not gonna get another one. Oh, he got another one.
Oh, see. So now immediately there. Take your hand off it. Thank you. Immediately. So immediately there, we have the Swain equaling up this CS differential.
But Hardwire, he started roaming here. Flash coming out again. Every time he uses it, he's going to have to use it again. Hardwire going down very quickly as Cassio turns that one around very quickly. Lush, you're taking quite a bit of damage. But Zaya picks up a kill into the mid lane as we decide to stay looking up in the top lane. Zaya picks up one there, but look at this bot lane turret is getting pushed. It's not going to be taken down anytime soon.
Of course, and right there, 4-man mid, and the catcher was still able to get something from it. So Oh, Caramel Cat, you're getting turned into caramel as he goes down. Swain picks up a kill into that one as the Feather Recall doesn't hook anyone down there. Zaya's forced to stay down. And as I was just saying, Nazareth Christian College actually got the worst end of that trade initially because they had 4 members mid and they traded 1-for-1 while the bot lane of Adelaide High School was actually pushing strongest that bot lane. But of course, as the Trundle just decided, you know what, I'm big, I'm tanky, mate, You have a Mercury Tread so far. You have no tanking ability. So immediately he just goes down on the tower with the amount of CC that can come from both the Swain and the Elise. Doesn't matter if you use a Subjugate, you are going down because there's no tank stats to steal right now.
No, well, I mean, Trundle, he does have the Merc Treads. You know, that counters Elise and Swain right there. So much magic resist. I mean, oh my gosh. But we do have a ping coming out from Nazareth Christian College. They want to look towards that Rift Herald.
Oh my god, if you look at mid lane, that's a 4 CS lead for the Swain. He has turned this game around.
So far around, he's got a major gold lead now. It's so big. We do have a bit of a skirmish down ball lane, seeing both junglers head towards there now. There is a control ward into that red bush, into that lane bush. They know that they don't have vision on Trundle, but Elise is hanging around there. So if they do decide to do anything there, Elise is going to be there to back him up. And Dermeister has done quite a bit to keep his lanes in the game.
He's been involved in 4 out of the 7 kills that have actually happened. He's got equal participation with basically both the Xayah and also the Swain, so there's been a lot of action happening around the Elise. But of course,
Elise is here, but so is Trundle. The tables have turned. The cocoon does land, but Xayah barely escapes with a great ultimate from Janna, as Janna keeps the rest of the team alive. Oh no, the burn from Brand keeps him in the grave.
and of course there goes down the Kai'Sa. That was so much CC from the cocoon, from the Xayah feathers to the cocoon, and even the Brand stun. There was literally just about 4 or 5 seconds worth of CC there. That's an AFK warding if I ever saw it.
I mean, it's not as bad as Morgana, but you know, things happen. We do have that turret is taken down quite low. Hardwired and Dermeister help with the minions to be able to take down first turret bot lane.
The first tower gold goes to Nazareth Christian College. They're up 3,000 gold at the 14-minute mark. And of course, it does look like there might be a bit of a fight happening here. But of course, it does need to be backed off. So it does look like even they are going to be able to rotate to that Cloud Drake and take the Cloud Drake advantage. So that's even more movement speed for the Elise. That's a great potential as well for the Swain, who needs that movement speed to be able to keep up with them in team fights, and also great for these rotations. On the habit of the AFK warnings, have you ever played against a Brand Morgana bot lane?
I don't want to. I hate the. I don't want to know the idea of that one. That sounds horrific.
Yeah, it was quite the game, to be honest. It was a lot of fun. I was lucky to Morgana in that Brand lane, that Brand Morgana matchup, and of course, you'd stun into snare, and it's literally like had them knocked up for about 5 seconds.
We have seen a lane change in this game right now. We have Xayah and Brand going up top side. No, actually, no, Brand's in the mid lane. Never mind. We do have the Xayah up top side, though. So Xayah has gone for the lane swap. Shen heading towards bot side now. But both teams have decided for a lane swap.
So the whole idea behind the lane swap strategy is the fact that you have a winning lane on one end of the map. And what you want to do is you want to then send them to get the top outer tower. Because you don't want to push up too far in enemy territory. You want to get that safe gold, and you already have this winning lane matchup. So if you just trade lanes, they have to match you, or their top lane is going to get even further behind in a 2v1 lane. When your top laner obviously is going to be is pretty much going to be just sitting on a tower as well. So it's a question of like, what are you willing to trade to try and get that top tower? And of course, most people decide to match it so they don't fall further behind. Because initiative, of course, and there we go.
Nice combo from Swain.
Just a little bit of a tickle there, and of course the Jada shield is able to.
Cocoon lands onto him. He just gets ultimately deleted as Dermeister picks up the kill onto that one.
And there we have the issue of the Jada being roaming mid to be able to save the Cassiopeia for that. But of course it does look like.
Oh, flash ulti coming out from Mikoto as he picks up one easy kill onto the Fireman. Alright, Mikoto, he gets taken down by Verza as well, but Trundle hammering away as he kills him with his ice block.
Indeed there, and that is actually a 2-for-1 trade. 1705.
Alright, and yep, so we do have a little bit of a problem coming out from Nazareth. Yeah, we do have a bit of a problem coming out from Nazareth. They are falling behind. I mean, they're still at a gold lead, but it wasn't as big as they were before.
Indeed, and of course that 2-for-1 trade was not optimal for them. They still haven't actually been able to get that.
Basic Beast Boy, he's getting engaged, frontlining as Shen comes in with Stand United. That was a really good bait coming out from Basic Beast Boy's Lushy. I mean, they weren't expecting that, were they?
They really weren't, and of course they were able to get the top tower as well. So they do have a 2-tower lead on the side of Nazareth Christian College, and they're able to take up the Rift Herald. So they've almost got the mid tower. They have got the Rift Herald. So that is potentially 2 more towers in their back pocket. So this is potentially a 4-for-0 tower game in the next 3 to 4 minutes, and this is definitely a problematic thing for Adelaide High School to deal with, because I don't think they need to get scaling. They need to get that Casio on those 2-3 items. They need to get the Kaisa building that Nashor's Tooth, building up her items. Otherwise, this is going to be quite problematic for them to deal with right now.
Now the question is Yu-Gi-Oh going to be building AP or AD Kaisa?
Well, someone who plays Kaisa, Benji, I believe that's a better question for me to ask. Would you go for the AP Kaisa, I do believe, which has amazing shred? Or would you go for the standard, like, AD Kaisa build, which I do believe is also extremely strong in its own right?
Well, I mean, AD Kaisa is extremely strong. I mean, okay. AD Kaisa isn't extremely strong, it is substantially strong. But with this team comp, they have Ornn and Trundle. They both deal 80 damage, don't they? Oh, Ornn deals AP, doesn't he? Yeah, okay, so Ornn's a tank. Okay, I'm gonna restart on this one. We've got a bit of a freeze here happening, so I'm just gonna explain this build path that Kaisa may potentially go on. So we do have a Trundle that goes AD, hammering away, a bit of a bruiser more like, hammering away at his opponents, being able to tank a lot of it, just saying, you know, I'm just gonna hammer away at you with my Ice Block and deal as much damage and soak up as much damage as well. And then we have the Casio, who's gonna try and burst down with a lot of AP. So that's a lot of mixed damage, but I'm just gonna go full out and say that Kaisa's gonna build AD. Yeah, anyway. Whoa, Mikoto! He's getting deleted, really? Oh, he just walks right back into the friend. Alright, yep.
And there we have Makoto down, and after all that wind-up of what damage could come out, so so one of the things to note is that the Ornn does have an amazing engage.
Oh, he uses it on the Rift Herald, however. Rift keeps walking down the middle of the lane. They're not even trying to focus him down as Shantinom. There we go. Ornn, he gets taken down by Elise. The rest of the team have to walk away from this. Rift Herald, as I was pointing out before, just walking down the middle of the lane. Just everyone ignoring. He's like, you know what, I'm gonna be a little happy Rifty. Take down these turrets. Thank you very much.
And of course, we do have the Rift Herald being able to get the second tower here as well. Maybe even get a charge into a third tower. So this is definitely disastrous for Adelaide High School right now. And Nazareth Christian College are able to get so much work done. They have a 6,000 gold lead at 20 minutes. They are up a Cloud Drake. They're looking for an Infernal as well. But of course, it does look like Adelaide High School might be trying to match this Infernal Drake.
They won't be able to take it before they burst this one down. Now they have an Infernal and a Cloud. They do not want to be taking this fight. Hardwire goes down very quickly. The rest of the team is split off. It's a 4v4 now. Ornn joining the team fight very soon. So actually, maybe they wanted to take that one.
Indeed, they definitely got the pick onto the fight. They're able to separate the Brand off and pick him off. Great pick up there from Caramel Cat. And of course, it does appear that they are going to make a play for Baron.
It's either a play or a bait. We have a TP coming out from Lushy. He's going to have to get there as soon as possible. I don't know if they're going to be able to take down this Baron quick enough. It doesn't look like it. Lushy has come onto the outer edges of this Baron pit. He is threatening a taunt here. He's going in, he taunts it, but he's not going to be able to land as Ornn picks up the kill onto that one. The ultimate landing of two members from Cassiopeia as well. Durmeister still going. He's not going to be able to steal it as down he goes with the help of Baron. Mikoto is barely going to be able to escape from this one. Swain picking up the kill onto him. A flash from there. He got the double. He's going to keep going as Baron actually picks up a kill onto that one. This is a 2v3. Will they be able to turn this one around as Shanitano, I have to work on that one, really goes ham onto Verza. He's trying to land a couple autos. You're on the wrong side of the map, however, as Brand is trying to turn this one around. Hardwire, flash coming out from him as well. He's going to be able to live through that one. Hardwire, the only one left alive on his team. Never mind, Shen's come back up. He's got Stand United. Will he use it though? Nope, he's goner. He's not going to use that one.
And right there, that is disastrous. From that one pick and able to force them back to tower, they able to turn onto the Baron, and then it just appeared. It's like it's the ants go marching one by one, and of course, Nazareth Christian College, they pay the price. Adelaide High School picks up the Baron, picks up some kills, and they are only 2,500 gold behind now with the Baron buff in their pocket. This could be the great equalizer. And if they get to this mid game equal, then they just continue to scale. It's Casio, late game demon, the Kai'Sa. This is someone from the Void you do not want to face today. And of course the Trundle is going to be an absolute monster, as well as the Orin. That engage is going to be impossible to deal with, especially because you don't have the tank line that you need to match it, aside from with the Shen.
And Shentinum, yep, Shentinum, I got it right this time. I hope. He's built more of a team fight sort of build. He's got the Locket out of the Iron Solaris, so this is going to help the rest of his team stay alive for just a little bit longer with the shield that he provides.
Indeed, and with the Abyssal Mask as well, it's going to be able to help with all this AP damage that is going to be coming from the Kai'Sa and the Cassiopeia, especially because the Kai'Sa is actually going for this Nashor's Tooth build, so he's going for that AP build.
Damn, I was wrong.
Indeed you were. But of course, the Casio, like a lot of Casios, ever since the AP item rework, a lot of Casios have actually foregone the Rod of Ages, and they're actually going for the Rylai second, which helps land your abilities a lot easier and stay onto the enemies. And as for the Haunting Guys, that builds Leandries, so it's going to be able to absolutely shred this Shen. So I do believe we are probably going to see an adaptive helm come.
Oh, they are going in though. Good Zaya ultimate to be able to stop anything from that Ornn ultimate, but that is going to be two major ultimate abilities gone. And with this Baron, they're going to power down this turret. They'll be looking to take a second one, maybe.
Indeed, and with this Baron buff, they can start equaling up this gold lead. 2,000 gold down now. They are slowly bringing it back, and with Baron up for so much longer, it's going to be really hard for them to deal with. But of course, the Shen's pushing in the side wave and does have the Stand United, so this is actually, this is, as long as they can hold this mid tower, they actually get so much from the Shen.
Yeah, and they're sending 3-4 members down maybe to deal with that Shen. He knows it. They know it. He's going to back away from this one. Play safe, not dirty.
And of course, it does look like everything's going to be spotted out, so just going to be clearing out these wards in the jungle and everything. They are looking to just reset and just push up this mid as well, to be able to get the Shen to back off. But of course, it does look like this is just a bit of a stall, and that's all they wanted, simply from the Shen just split pushing up a little bit. So definitely advantageous towards Nazareth Christian College, and they actually might lose the top tower though with the Orin split pushing with that Baron buff.
But we do have the Ornn pushing up this top lane. He's going to be able to take this first tier turret up top. This is going to be the second turret of their game, bringing their gold lead closer and closer as the game goes on.
Yep. So it always becomes a question of what happens next, because Baron is down now. The gold lead is only at 1,500 gold, and of course the Kai'Sa is starting to get to that scaling point. But of course the Zaya, yep. So the Zaya on the side of Nazareth Catholic College is actually starting to get to has got the Essence Reaver, has got the Rapid Fire Cannon. We'll be building the another Zeal item, so he is actually delaying his power spike for that for the Infinity Edge a lot longer.
Oh, but Mikoto, he's going to get focused again. The Seraph's Embrace doing his job. Camel Cat, he's way too deep, and Zion picks up a kill into that one. A good Janet disengaged, but it's not going to be good enough The Orn Ram comes in as he tries to dish out a bit of damage. Fast stops the Elise from doing much, knocks up 2 members. He's going to be able to tank a lot of that as Yukio, he's just in the back line doing what he does best, auto-attacking Lushy to death. And that's going to be an ace going over to the side of Adelaide High School T1.
And of course, they blew everything on Makoto, trying to blow Makoto down. But Makoto does have the Rylai's and the Liangis. That's a lot of health. Add this to Raph's Embrace, and you are dealing with probably a 3,000 health or something Cassiopeia. And that is definitely not something you're able to burst down. They were able to turn that around. They lost the Trundle, but they gained so much more.
And AP Kaisa is doing his job with the amount, should see the amount of auto attacks that he had, the free hits that Yukio had in that team fight. And because of that, he's got Quincy's Rage Blade, he's got the Stinger building into the Nashor suit. I'm not surprised if this is going to go into Hex Tech as well.
Indeed, and this is a Kaisa that isn't even at 2 items yet. You have yet to finish the National Street. You were just able to get so many free hits off. You were not focused in that fight at all. And the Cassio being able to stay alive, being able to continually free hit, when all the damage sources went down for the side of Nazareth Catholic College, it was definitely not a good thing, because you can't get through the Janus shielding. You could not get into the Kaisa. They blew everything, just kind of kill the Cassio, and they had nothing left to deal with the Kaisa. It was absolutely disastrous right there. And for the first time this game, it does appear that Adelaide High School T1 do have a gold lead, a 2,000 gold lead. They're able to pick up an Infernal Drake, and they've got an open inhibitor. There's an open inhibitor in this mid lane for the side of Nazareth Catholic College. So this is this is definitely something you do not want to have to deal with right now.
Oh, the Trundles might get picked out. Cocoon does miss. The Orn Ram does come in, though. He's going to be able to knock up 2 champions there. Mr. Beast Boy, he's going to get focused down in the backline. This is not a fight you want to be taking as a split team. Zura is taking a lot of damage as he's going to go down. Kaisa's going to pick up that one as Mikoto, he's going to try and focus down Lushy. He's going to get grounded. He's going to get slowed. He's going to get slowed again. He's forced to flash from that one, but Mikoto picks up an easy solo kill. They should either go for Baron or for Inhib.
Indeed, and that is a 3-item Cassiopeia with the Rylai's and the Yanjus. So able to shred that Shen, who doesn't actually have a lot of magic resist except for with the Merc Treads. And of course, that does look like it's going to be a free Baron and possibly Inhibitor as well, as you see the Cassio just with those really fast auto attacks just going for that Inhibitor.
Yeah, those amazing split pushing auto attacks, right? Almost as good as a Vladimir top with split pushing. There's a teleport forced to come out from Yukio, as he's going to have to deal with that massive wave down bot lane, but that is a lot of gold in his pocket now.
Indeed, and he has finished off the Nashor's Tooth, but he doesn't actually have anything else aside from his Berserker Greaves. And of course, the Xayah is almost at 3 items with the what appears to be the Static Shiv. So she is at 60% crit. The next item will probably be that Infinity Edge, which caps her out at 100%, and does give that a lot of true damage. But it does look like our ADC and support were just sitting a little bit, sitting in base for a little bit, waiting for those goal for the items, and we do have the Wit's End from the Kaisa. Tell me about this Wit's End.
This is amazing. So Kaisa's building full attack speed with magic resist. So we've got Quincy's AD/AP hybrid damage. We have Nash's Tooth, which is AD attack speed as well as the Wit's End. The more auto attacks you do, the more magic resist you get, and the amount of magic damage that Nazareth Catholic College has on their side. This was a really smart pick coming out from Yukio.
Actually, one of the things to note is one thing I've always struggled with Kaisa is Kaisa seems to be the new Kog'Maw, with just more mobility and just equal tank shredding. And I don't really see how Kog'Maw in this meta is able to stand up against something like a Kaisa who has so much range, so much burst, so much poke potential, and so much teamfight damage. It does seem, I don't know.
Did you say Kaisa has range?
With the look at that ability.
That's a one-hit range. Come on.
Have you seen how much damage that can do late game, especially if you build that AP Kaisa, if you build something like a Rabadon's or with that kind of damage?
Well, I mean, yeah, it is a huge amount of damage. You are not wrong at all. But we do have Shen split pushing in the top lane. Not a position you want to be in with a massive amount of baroned up minions pushing, knocking at the inhibitor door. So this is going to be a free inhibitor as Shen forced to back away from this. Does have teleport, does have Stand United. They won't be looking for a fight here as the inhibitor goes down. Free inhibitor, they're going to back away from this one and reset. Maybe not.
And this is one of the issues when you give away that second Baron buff. It just has fallen absolutely apart for Nazareth Catholic College. They basically after they got that Infernal Drake, and then one of them got picked off, and they gave up the Baron. They just lost that gold lead. Now they're at 10,000 gold disadvantage.
Oh no! He misses the own ultimate. The ultimate misses from Cassio as well. Two Zhonya's coming in, but they're going to be able to pick up a kill either way. Kaisa's going ham. Cassio picking up another one. Basic Beast Boy can't do anything right now. He's got 3 items, but they're all crit. This is not something you want to be in. Not a position you want to be in as a carry. Doesn't have any base damage, just crit. Gonna flash for this one. Gonna get knocked up. He's not gonna die, but down goes their Nexus.
Indeed, and 32 minutes in, and that is a win for Adelaide High School T1. And of course, we saw Nazareth Catholic College having that early advantage, but then the game just absolutely fell apart as it went on. When they lost that first Baron and they went 1v1, one by one into the ant's nest just to die, they lost huge tempo. And then from there, the gold lead slowly swung back in the favor of Adelaide High School. And Adelaide High School just didn't let go of the lead once they got it.
No, they didn't. It was an amazing comeback coming out from Adelaide. And I just want to focus on the amount of damage that both teams came out before we go.
Of course, I have to say, like, watching Mikoto just absorb so much pressure in the mid lane, and oftentimes when he was ganked, he traded 1-for-1, even when it was I believe there was a 4v1 moment where he actually was able to get a kill during that as well, and he made a lot of aggressive, proactive plays. But of course, if you look at the damage, the damage was huge. The second highest damage in this game was 18,292 from the Swain. The highest damage in the game was 39,724 from the Cassiopeia. That's huge.
An amazing play coming out from Cassio. Mikoto, man of the match here, being able to bring his team back from the brink of disaster. And that's game going over to Adelaide High School T1.
Indeed. And so, guys, we will be back shortly with game... Wait. We will be back shortly at 7 o'clock.
Not shortly, guys. We'll be back in 45 minutes, hopefully.
Time is just a construct, Vinny.
I mean, if you're going to play a League of Legends game, then sure, it's shortly.
Okay, so guys, go play a League of Legends game. Make sure it isn't one of those 50-hour-long games, and then come back to the stream at 7 o'clock, where we will be casting Game 2 of tonight. I do believe this is the last you'll hear of Benji for tonight. But yeah, so we'll be back in 45 minutes.
Yep, a game between Cary Baptist College or Cary Esports versus Colby Catholic College.
And guys, it's thank you to these teams and to the schools today. And we will be back shortly.